A year of your time after the first trailer comes out going, this movie is shit, only weirdos are gonna like it, it's gonna be about feminism, it's gonna be about racial diversity, it's gonna be about identity politics, it's gonna be about this, it's gonna be about that, and they do that for a whole year, do you actually believe that the people that watch that or the people that say that are gonna go into a movie and give it a fair shot? And this is a genuine question. Do you believe people that make that kind of content will go into a movie and go, I'm going to be open-minded about this, and then my opinion coming out of it is going to reflect what I personally feel about it after watching the movie? It is not financially beneficial for them to change their mind. Let me say this again. It is not a good way to make money for them to spend a year shitting on something and then watching it going, oh, I was wrong, it's actually pretty good. Because all that does is drive their viewers away from them. So they'll never change their mind about a movie. They will go into the movie already ready to hate it, come out and say, it's just as I predicted. There's nothing personal against them. I don't know them personally. I'm only talking about the way they run their channels and the kind of content that they do.
The only way that you can really stop this kind of thing is to arouse public opinion. It's very upsetting. It has a bad moral effect.
Forced adversity.
Ask yourself, what's more terrifying, fear or the frightened?
The facts of history and the aggressive impulses of an evil empire.
Bad, B-A-D-D, bothered about Dungeons and Dragons.
Up yours, woke moralists.
Socialism has spread the shadow of human regimentation over most of the nations of the earth.
And they're pushing identity politics with this. They 100% are.
How do you think homosexuals reveal themselves?
And the shadow is encroaching upon our own liberty.
I think there ought to be a law against it. Tonight I'm going to show you why.
Hello. Welcome
to go into it.
Yeah. Welcome to the Organized Chaos podcast. This will be streaming on both the main Organized Chaos channel and the podcast channel. But after it's done streaming, you will only be able to find it on the Organized Chaos podcast channel. So if for some reason you need to watch it again, it is free. It is absolutely available to you. But you gotta go over to the Organized Chaos podcast channel. I have links all over the channel for it. And it will be right there for you, free to watch whenever you want. It's also available on most podcasting services if you just want audio version. Also, make sure to like and subscribe and follow.
Yes, please. Like, comment, subscribe, follow. Please. We'd love to hear from you.
Algorithm. Yes, the algorithm things are good. We like the algorithm.
And don't
things.
just watch
Do
the first
algorithm
few
thing.
minutes of it either. Watch the full thing. You know, we stagger our way through a lot of stuff, mostly with a 95% success rate.
Yeah, to a degree. Yeah, it's almost a success. And what's amazing is that the podcast never has any technical issues. It's always seamless in every aspect.
Never.
This is
never.
I mean, we call it the best podcast in the history of the universe, and we only call it that because it's true. Like,
Our
there's
motto
no
here
better
is,
way to
fuck
describe
it,
this
we'll
podcast.
do it live.
Yes.
You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts.
Why do you think I came back?
You had a terrible choice to make in Berlin. One life over millions. And now the world is at risk.
The further you travel, the riskier the journey becomes.
Hello?
Hello.
What? Who? What? Huh? Okay, let's see how well the connection goes. You know, I didn't even realize in the edit, but I made it look like Patrick Wilson was getting attacked by Peter Gabriel. Just like, boom, Peter Gabriel's fucking there.
Yeah, I mean, well, Patrick Wilson probably had it coming.
True. That's what you get for being an Aquaman, motherfucker.
Yeah.
But yeah, we will be talking about Insidious 5. That is one of the movies we're covering. But we're also going to be talking about the first 3 episodes of Secret Invasion and Mission Impossible Fallout. I keep on forgetting about Mission Impossible Fallout this week, despite the fact that it's fucking good. But we'll get into it.
Pretty good. Not so bad actually. I went to go see Insidious today, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, not so bad.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, it's good. So there was a picture that dropped today. Yeah. I don't know if anybody saw this. I saw this in Discord and I went, oh.
This popped up as a update right before Insidious started this morning.
Ooh.
I went to see it, so I'm like, I mean, I was the only one in the theater, so
yeah,
I'm just like phone out. They're telling me to put it away. Well, the movie was, but just wow, that's cool.
Yeah. So if you're listening, this is the picture of Deadpool walking next to Wolverine, and Wolverine appears to be essentially it's Hugh Jackman Wolverine walking in what appears to be like a variant of his yellow costume.
Yeah,
it looks so sweet. Like we've never ever seen Hugh Jackman Wolverine. All the years he's played Wolverine, we've never seen him in anything really close to comic book accurate, outside of maybe casual wear stuff. Which
I mean, there was like what in one of the Wolverine movies where there was like the helmet.
Well, that wasn't even technically in the Wolverine movie. That was like a deleted ending thing.
Yeah.
And then I was like, ooh, we're gonna see it in Logan, and it wouldn't have fit in Logan, but like the tease was there.
If it was there, like just dirty and ratty in like a closet somewhere. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but yeah, it wouldn't have fit in Logan. Yeah, I'm looking at it now. I see like little blue highlights too, like on the shoulder pads, and what looks like on the gloves too.
Yeah, it just looks so awesome. I don't know what else to say other than it's kind of awesome just seeing Hugh Jackman back. I mean, and he said like Logan was a great swan song for him, and he said the only reason he would come back if he got to do it in the MCU, and he's doing it in the MCU now. Everybody. The other news that hit was that apparently Jennifer Gardner's Elektra will be coming back for this. I mean, I'm kind of all for if they just bring back all the Fox universe and just kind of I don't know. Maybe do Deadpool cools the universe or something. I don't know.
Like Deadpool kills the Fox universe.
Yeah, I would be kind of down for that.
Yeah, because he
let's
did
face
do
it,
one where like he did kill the Marvel universe. So
I mean, the Fox universe is essentially dead. This is without doubt gonna be its swan song. Like you got the proper dramatic ending with Logan, and for some reason they made Dark Phoenix after that, which is like you had the ending, you dumb fucks. But anyways, now we're gonna get Deadpool, and it will properly end the Fox universe in the goofiest way possible. I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm happy to say that's one that I know that I don't have to watch that to know that's gonna suck.
What, Dark Phoenix?
Yeah.
Oh, I've seen it. It's
yeah.
I barely remember it. It's not noteworthy.
I have watched it. Yeah, it wasn't good. Like
yeah.
I thought Apocalypse was okay. I thought they hit their pinnacle with Days of Future Past, and that was the best one. But
I like if we're talking about actual X-Men movies with X-Men in the title. For me, the pinnacle is First Class. I thought Days of Future Past was really good, but it was a step down from First Class in my opinion. And then Apocalypse was a huge step down, and then Dark Phoenix. I guess I'd probably say I like Dark Phoenix less than Apocalypse, but they're both really just kind of.
The thing that I liked, what I really liked about Apocalypse was the introduction of the Sentinels, and they were like the Sentinels. I liked that.
Yeah.
I was like, fucking finally.
Well, that was
yeah, they did it terribly though.
Days of Future Past. Well, Days of Future Past, we got Sentinels.
Yeah, we got Kree, but that was too. Yeah, both of those did. I enjoyed both of those. Well, Apocalypse, it was okay. I didn't enjoy it as much as Days of Future Past, but
I don't know. I don't think I can forgive Apocalypse because it cast Oscar Isaac, who's a great actor.
Yeah,
cast him as Apocalypse and really just wasted the whole fucking thing.
Yeah, they wasted him in that movie criminally.
Yeah.
Criminally.
Yeah.
Oh, he was undercast in that. Definitely, they should have let him go for it.
True. I guess anything you want to add to this before we go on to Secret Invasion?
I'm excited for whatever footage or whatever comes next out of it.
Me too. Yeah. Well, I mean, the fact is, if they're shooting anything, it tells me they probably have a script done, which means it probably won't be affected by the writer's strike. So we'll probably get it. It probably won't get pushed back, but we will still have to see it. It may not be that far along. It may have just been like they might have just been doing some costuming for Hugh Jackman, and that's where this came from. So
yeah.
In that case, it's right. Like I know they push back a lot of dates on stuff because of the writer's strike. And
yes.
If they don't come to a settlement, it's going to get pushed back further, guys. So brace for it. And if any Hollywood executives are listening, talk to your writers. Make a deal with them.
Talk to the writers.
Mm-hmm. But I'm looking forward to this very much.
Yeah.
But you know what else is in the Marvel universe that is coming out recently? That's pretty decent. Secret Invasion.
Yeah.
I'm kind of enjoying the crap out of this series. It's not blowing my mind, but it's intriguing, and I definitely want to see what they're doing. The world has been essentially invaded by Skrulls, and like there's plenty of peaceful Skrulls like Talos, but there's also there's a faction of Skrulls that are not so happy and just kind of want to conquer the planet. So Nick Fury's back to deal with it.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts, Bobby?
I'm enjoying where this is going so far.
Yeah.
Like it kind of has that that angle that Falcon and the Winter Soldier had.
Mm-hmm.
That I really like with like not necessarily just it's kind of like a sci-fi and a spy movie mixed together.
Yes, yeah. I'd say that's a good way to approximate.
And I'm kind of really enjoying the crossover with the elements of it.
Yeah.
The Skrull are very dangerous, very devious, and like they could turn into anybody. I'm really liking what they're doing. I'm kind of enjoy that we get to see a little bit more of Nick Fury fleshed out a bit more than what we had. Yeah.
Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury's always been like one of the best castings ever. And like actually giving him the lead in something is just wonderful. I'm loving it. I love the kind of, the thriller aspect of this. Like, we don't know who a Skrull is, and I'm sure there's going to be some surprises.
Yeah.
Did you notice the voice at the end that seemed to be pretty much a Skrull voice that sounded a lot like Rhodey?
Yeah.
And that's got me wondering. I guess spoilers for
Yeah.
the third episode, but like, I don't know if it's actually spoilers because I don't know.
Yeah, because new one hasn't came out yet.
Yeah, maybe I'm just leading you down the wrong path. I don't know.
Maybe.
But, yeah. I guess we'll probably go into spoilers going in here because there are spoilers. So Amelia Clark plays I want to say her name was Gaia, and she is Talos's daughter, and she was part of like the Skrull, the evil Skrulls, but she decided to start feeding her dad information, which has been very helpful until she's maybe dead, which is interesting. It makes me wonder if they're doing like a Sigourney Weaver in Defenders or if she's coming back,
Yeah, I don't know.
Because they made a big deal about her casting, and then it seems like she's gone now. It's like,
Yeah, I was kind of surprised how quickly she was gone. Like,
yeah.
Well, speaking of gone, I'm also surprised at I can't think of Colby Smothers.
Oh, Maria Hill.
Yes, thank you, Maria Hill.
Yeah, Maria Hill.
I was surprised by that one too. But
I read the graphic novel not that long ago. So, like, Secret Invasion begins with a noteworthy death.
Yeah.
I guess, for the MCU, I guess that's Maria Hill. Now, I always want to stress it's a comic book story. They can do kind of whatever they want with comic book stories.
Yeah.
Nothing has to be permanent, which people can complain about, but it's a fact of life of comic books.
Yeah.
I imagine a death in the MCU is more permanent, but nothing is unreversible, really. That being said, for the time being,
I think there's one thing that's irreversible in the MCU, and that's probably the death of Iron Man. Like,
well,
I would Tony Stark's coming back.
Well, if Robert Downey Jr. came to the studio and said, "Hey, I'll do a movie for free," I bet you'd come back.
Oh yeah, sure, but Downey wouldn't do that.
No, he wouldn't. So
no.
You're probably right. You're right. I'm just saying it's not impossible, but it's not happening.
I mean, I think we're lucky we still get Jon Favreau.
True. Yeah.
Considering like how much grief he went up with the Mandalorian and Disney, and
well, a lot. I don't know. Like he's done a solid. Like Book of Boba Fett had its issues. I think Mandalorian is largely solid.
Yeah. No.
And
that's not what I'm saying at all.
Yeah, and then Iron Man 2 has its issues, but like he's a talented guy, so I think Disney would be insane to let him go, despite what a certain segment of the internet says.
No, not at all like that. I don't think things are over with all. I think they just happen to have this one disagreement, and it just happened to get a little public.
Yes. Well, yeah. We'll see how it pans out, but I think he'll be okay. Like I said, this is an intriguing story. We're just kind of getting the early stages of it. It's we find there's a million Skrulls on the planet, and Nick Fury didn't know because essentially Talos let him come by because they didn't have a home, and he was like, "We need a home." Nick Fury was dead for 5 years, so Talos kind of had to take control and said, "Okay, guys, might as well come here." So like you could argue to a degree it's his fault, but I can't blame him. I can't blame him at all. He's just trying to help his people.
Did they address that there were a Skrull who got like blipped? Were there any? What they said?
I am certain there were, but they haven't addressed that specifically.
That's just a random thought I had now when you said that about Fury, because he was gone. I'm curious if we're gonna get a cameo from Brie Larson, or if there's gonna be more of a lead-in or a tie-in to the Marvels movie coming up.
It wouldn't surprise me because this does tie into the Marvels to a degree. So a cameo from one of those three wouldn't surprise me whatsoever.
No.
Either Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel, or whatever Maria. Is it Maria Rambeau or Monica Rambeau? One of the Rambos, whatever their code name will be.
Yeah.
I think it's Monica. I think Maria's the mom.
Yeah.
But now that I've established that, I'm probably backwards. Chat, if you want to help, let me know. But yeah, this is I'm enjoying this show. Like I said, I'm suspicious. I'm super suspicious of Brody right now. But yeah, I think there's gonna be more surprises about who's who coming up.
Well, isn't also the War Machine story supposed to be intertwined with this? Since we're not getting War Machine, but its story's just going to be merged, I think. I remember reading something like
I think didn't Kevin Feige, I think, said he wanted to turn the War Machine story into a movie.
Okay.
So that I'm pretty sure that's still happening.
I mean, Cheadle is a lead. That'll be good. Like Cheadle's great.
Yeah, essentially, Kevin Feige looked at it and said, I love this. I want to put a movie budget behind it. So it sounds good to me.
Yeah.
But I want to see what happens next week for Secret Invasion. Like I said, we're still learning what's going on, but it's solid. Let's see. Are we ready for Mission Impossible?
Yeah.
Mission Impossible 6 Fallout. The first movie ever where Ethan Hunt has to deal with continuity, his worst enemy. No. So, like, I saw this 5 years ago when it came out, and I remember enjoying it, but I haven't seen it since then. That's till this morning when I watched it, and it's probably my new favorite of the franchise, because I just love, like, essentially this one has a lot of the same tone of the last one, but it's just darker.
Yeah, a little darker.
Yeah. You get Henry Cavill as, spoiler for a 5-year-old movie, Henry Cavill is your villain. In his famous mustache that had to be CGI'd out.
Bizarro Superman. It was Bizarro Superman.
Yes,
That's what I kept. I was like, this is Bizarro Superman being a dick.
Yeah. Well, he does. I dig him as the villain in this, though.
No, he was great as the villain. Henry Cavill is. I don't think I've ever seen him play the villain in a movie before, and I know that he played the villain he did. I think he played the villain in Scott Pilgrim. I've only seen that once, so I really don't remember.
He was not in Scott Pilgrim. That was,
he was not
Brandon Routh.
That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, different Superman. Different.
It was Superman. That's why I got them confused. Yeah. But yeah, no, he was really menacing as the villain. It was. I really enjoyed this one a lot more than I thought I would.
Well, I mean, like, I think what's great about Henry Cavill is he has a physical presence, because there's that point where Simon Pegg's Benji and I think it's Alec Baldwin, they're essentially holding him at gunpoint. And I'm thinking, they need to keep their distance, because if he gets an advantage, I see him very easily taking both of them out without any real effort.
That's the Man of Steel, dude.
Yeah. He is like ripped next to them easily. It's like, oh shit. And that's the thing, like,
definitely still in shape from Justice League.
True. And if you want to blame some of the poor CGI in Justice League to this movie, you can, because this was what he was shooting where he couldn't shave. I blame the poor CGI to the fact that Warner Brothers rushed the production rather than letting them finish this and then do the reshoots.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Seriously, this isn't like, well, I mean, if this was like something where, I think it still is like this in Hollywood, where like it's the production companies, they have the contracts with the actors, like, you're only going to do like movies for Paramount, so you're only going to appear in these. So, like, I mean, if they were under the same production company, I think that agreement would have been much easier to obtain.
Yeah.
I think it's because it was separate studios, and it was more just the studios going back and forth. And obviously Warner wanted to push this one out because they were still trying to compete with Marvel. And
well, it was also, I guess, a lot of the studio execs would get bonuses if they made a certain amount by the end of the year, which is why they pushed out Justice League, which was a huge financial success if you know your history, right?
just as the first Suicide Squad.
Yes. But yeah, getting a little bit derailed, but like this is
A little, yeah,
and
but
it's 100% my fault. But yeah, this is so much better than that movie, by the way. This was actually made like well and well crafted.
yeah,
The whole yeah.
Well, what I liked about this one is, as you had mentioned earlier, how like he has to deal with continuity, and
Yeah,
they started bringing back elements from the older films and kind of tying everything together and making everything make sense since the first movie.
Yeah,
and that's okay, cool. So we're actually going to be putting pieces together. That's awesome. Yes.
Yeah, it's in case you're wondering what the story is essentially Ethan Hunt's been assigned to go after the Apostles, who have 3 nuclear bombs, and the Apostles are remnants of the Syndicate from last movie. So they kind of they kind of worship Solomon Lane to a degree. Although like John Walker, I think his name's John Walker, who's the Henry Cavill character. I wouldn't say he worships him, but he's definitely he definitely respects him and he's trying to get the nuclear weapons to do some absolute chaos. And I kind of love the opening to this movie too, where essentially you see like there's the nuclear weapons trade off. Ethan has to make the call to either save Ving Rhames Luther or protect the bombs, which he has he essentially can choose one or the other. And he rolls the dice. He saves Luther in the hope that maybe the bombs will sit there for a moment unsupervised. And of course they don't. And then there's this like huge thing in a hospital room where they kidnap the scientist, and they get to they're talking about how 3 nuclear bombs have gone off and destroyed major sites. Oh my God, this is terrible.
Yeah, that was
actually
that was cool.
Yeah,
that was cool.
And they get the scientist to confess because of course he's already won. It doesn't matter anymore. And then it turns out it's all a stage. I love the he wakes up. It's like, yeah, you've been here for like 2 weeks, man. And then it's like, yeah, no, this actually happened an hour ago, bro.
Yeah, that crash that was an hour ago.
So, and then the good news is, in that event, Benji finally gets to wear a mask, which he kept on saying he wanted to do in the last movie.
I said that right when I was watching. I was like, hey, you got to wear a mask, Benji. And it was Wolf Blitzer.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, and the bad news is it was Wolf Blitzer.
Yeah. I mean, you got to wear a mask.
Well, he does get to do it twice, too. He also gets to pretend to be Solomon for a little bit, which, when they were taking Solomon out, I was like, oh, I bet you they left Benji in there.
Yep.
And they did. But
by the smile, I was like, that's Simon Pegg.
Yeah. No, like as the meeting's going on, he's keeping up performance fairly well, but like as Henry Cavill's Walker keeps on monologuing to him, you can see like how he's cracking, and it's like, that's not Solomon, dude.
Yeah, it's just more of like, I recognize that style of a grin and reaction anywhere. That's Simon Pegg.
Yeah,
that's funny. I wonder how they
and
did that.
I'm
probably
brain farting on who plays the actor Solomon Lane, but he does a good Simon Pegg in this too, because it's like he carries that fairly well. Yeah,
just impersonate him.
Like I said, this is just this. Yeah, this is probably my new favorite Mission Impossible movie. This is just if you like Rogue Nation, this is like very similar in tone except darker. It's longer, but like you don't even feel the length.
No, this one actually,
it worked for me.
I was surprised at how quickly it was. Definitely, go. I did like them bringing back the character, well, per se, Max, back into it. I really enjoyed that.
Well, I mean, it's supposed to be the daughter of Max, isn't it?
Yeah, and well, when they were in that room and her daughter was reading the eulogy, it was just kind of more of like, well, that sounds like only one person in this universe that I know of. Just like the first two things, like that sounds like Max. And then
yeah.
Oh.
No. Yeah, I heard that name. I was like, oh, is that Max from the first one? Is that Vanessa Redgrave that played Max?
I'm
pretty sure it was.
Oh, let me get my phone.
Very famous actress. I know it's a very famous actress. I'm 99% sure it was Vanessa Redgrave. Which is a great like that's kind of what's great. This movie just kind of picks up all these threads from the past movies. Most of them are from Rogue Nation, but there's threads from all over the franchise this movie picks up and just kind of follows up on. We get a lot more Julia. Probably this is definitely the most Julia we've gotten since Mission Impossible 3.
Yeah.
And yeah, Walker essentially sets up nuclear bombs at this campsite and invites her there, and it's clear just to fuck with Ethan. It's either Walker or Solomon does something like that. It's probably Walker because Solomon was in prison for most of this. But yeah, just evil motherfuckers, I swear.
Yes, Vanessa Redgrave. It was Vanessa Redgrave.
Okay, yeah. Good to know. Another thing is, I think my daughter loves to point this out. This is like the franchise where Tom Cruise is really trying to kill himself. There's so many moments in this movie where it's like, man, he's really giving it the solid attempt, man. Like where he jumps on the building and he kind of misses, and it's like, I know that's stunt and that's safe, but like, man, that hurt.
Like
yeah,
it was.
Will Tom Cruise kill himself? We got 2 movies to find out.
I don't know. I think he heard or watched that clip of Jackie Chan jumping from building to building, and how he broke an ankle and kept going. Tom's like, I bet you I could do that.
Yeah.
And it's like, no.
Never mind the fact that Jackie Chan's like, don't do that. That hurt. Don't.
Yeah, don't. No. They have actors to do that for you. Don't.
Yeah.
I mean, Jackie did his own.
From my mistakes. What are you doing?
Yeah, Jackie mostly. Well, he mostly did the stunts just because there wasn't anyone there to do the stunts, so he would do them. And that's back when he was just an extra, and then they realized he was good at that. So, but I mean, Jackie usually has the same stunt people work. Well, he did when he was making his movies here, and he doesn't anymore. But that's sad.
Yeah. Yeah, I am pretty much on board with more Jackie Chan in general. But yeah,
no, I don't know. So I know that Tom is shooting.
That stunt thing where he missed the roof. That looked a little painful. Like Tom Cruise is older than I am, and at my age, I'm like, you're gonna feel that for a couple weeks. Yeah. Yeah. But I guess anything you want to add for Mission Impossible Fallout?
No.
I will say I got my tickets. I'm going to see it tomorrow night because Tuesday's our discount day, and like this is actually going to be released on Tuesday or a Wednesday, so I can get to see the Tuesday premiere. I'm kind of excited to see the next one, especially after this one. I hope it's fresh enough in my memory next Monday, but yeah, I'm excited to see what the follow up is to this because this was solid. Let's see, I guess it's Insidious 5 now, right?
Yes.
Well, you know how I like the last two things we talked about.
Yeah,
that's changing. I'm kind of disappointed with this. Like. I saw there's a new Insidious movie, and I remember seeing the first 3 and liking them, but it's been a while. And we rewatched the first one last week, and I was like, well, this is a good, well-paced movie. There's actually 4, so I've never seen the 4th one, but I don't know.
Okay, cool.
Because this is really a sequel. This one's set up as a sequel to the first 2. And I was like, and they're bringing back Patrick Wilson and Rose Byrne and Ty Sheridan. I want to say is the young actor who was a child actor in the first 2, and now he's grown up. So it's like, oh, this sounds cool, and this is the directing debut of Patrick Wilson, who
I noticed.
Like, I will say, I think he does it's not like amazing, but I think he does a solid job directing this. Where my issues lie with this isn't really in the directing or the acting, but more or less the story. And I think this is actually a really good story if this was like a half hour to 45 minutes long. It's not that. It's like, I swear, the first hour almost nothing happens and it's all kind of bland and predictable. And yeah, I'm not thrilled with this. What are your thoughts, Bobby?
Well, I had never seen anything in this series before, so I was kind of lost at a few points in the movie, just figuring it would explain and, just with a line of dialogue or something. And for the most part, it did. But yeah.
I will. I'm really rusty on the second one, and I wish I'd watched it more recently because, they brought up stuff from the second one, but I feel like this movie is pretty much set up asking that you watch the first two, and that would be fine if this had a strong enough story to really stand up on its own, but really doesn't. They could have spent time familiarizing us with the story, and it won't have only made this better because there's so much just dead weight in this movie.
Yeah, it seemed more like, obviously it's meant to be as like a final installment of it, I guess. But it really didn't seem like that to me.
No. Well, I mean,
it definitely seemed like they could do more with it.
Well, yeah, they definitely could, but
I don't know.
After this one, I don't know if I want to, but yeah, like I said, I remember watching the first three. The first two are the ones about the Lamberts, and then the third one is like a different couple, but we have like the psychic investigators. Not really the investigators are more kind of the Conjuring stuff, but here we have a psychic and then like the two techs with her. And I remember the second one because the psychic dies at the end of the first one, but then she's a ghost in the second one who still helps them out. And the way they kind of weaved it in there was simply because Patrick Wilson and his son can communicate with ghosts. She can still pretty much be almost equally effective as a ghost. And then the third one was kind of her as a ghost and the two guys who work with her kind of doing a separate case. And then I assume the fourth one's the same thing, but like I said, I haven't seen it.
Wait. So those two who were her assistants in the first ones, or assistants in the first ones, the guys who we saw in that YouTube video in this one.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. And she came back as a spirit in the third one.
Yeah, no, right? She's in all of them. The psychic, the psychic and those two guys are the only guys I believe in all five of these.
Jim's mom. I know her from another movie. I know her from Detroit Rock City, where she played a character's mom, Jim's mom, who that movie is obviously about Kiss. These guys who live in Cleveland want to go up to Detroit to see Kiss play in Detroit. And it's about their journey to go get them after Jim's mom burns their Kiss tickets because she feels it's Knights in Satan's service. Yeah, so it's about it's fan, but neither am I. I'm not the biggest Kiss fan. Yeah, you don't burn concert tickets. You really don't do it.
Yeah,
but it's placed in the 70s, and she plays a religious nut. It's bad for him, I guess, growing up there. He has a line in there says he has to hide his Kiss records in the Carpenters albums, which is kind of a woof. That's rough. That's rough.
Yeah, I have to get Carpenter's albums so I can hide my stuff.
Hide my Kiss albums. Oh, but it's also a play off of that whole satanic scare with them and everything. But that's the only thing I've known her from, and I just see her. I go, oh, Jim's mom. So that's why. That's who Jim's mom is. But this, again, I felt like if I watched the other movies, I would have understood them more and got more of it. Yeah, I do say that a lot of the movie was just unnecessary padding. I was when I saw it, I was saying to myself, "What was the point of that scene? What did that accomplish? Nothing. Nothing."
Well, I want. So we can say, oh, we should have watched the first two before we saw this one. We saw the first one. That being said, this movie should be able to somewhat stand on its own, somewhat, and it really. I don't think it does. Yeah, I think even watching the first two, I think this movie is gonna be pretty weak. Because here's a key element that my daughter brought up on the way home, and I thought it was a great thing to bring up. The art teacher, the quirky art teacher who asked them to tear up their artwork, and the one student said no, and I like pretty much verbally, audibly in the theater was like, based, yeah, fuck her, because like that's such a terrible thing to ask the students to do.
Yeah,
and
no,
then,
I kind of objected that part too. I was like, the fuck?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, she's like, hang the piece you're most proud of. Okay, that sucks. Tear it up. It's like, fuck you. No, I don't want to. I'm proud of this. If you're not happy with it, then cope.
Okay, that's your problem.
But that teacher's introduced. She's quirky and like she's in like 2 scenes and means nothing to the movie at all. Like she's just there and then she's dropped.
She's there.
Like you could
she's
cut
there
those
whenever
scenes.
there's art class. Yeah.
Yeah. You could literally cut the art class from this movie and it would just like
no,
at most
it wouldn't
10 minutes from the runtime.
It would have needed to be there for the one part, for the one scare. Like when he started doing
for the one scare. Yeah,
but then again, that also could have been made.
Well, that's the thing. That
also could have just been done in his room too.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like that's it. That's the only reason that class exists is for him to have that scare and get some blood on the thing. And that's the thing. Like a lot of the scares on here aren't super creative. There's some decent stuff, but like I am sick of seeing the ghost pop out of nowhere and puke all over somebody. I am so sick of that one.
I was in the theater by myself. I was laughing at that.
Yeah,
like
well,
I knew.
You can enjoy it at this point because, like, oh, of course.
Yeah. Well, when they discovered the ghost in the bathroom doing that, puking its ghost guts out, and like you see and I saw the shoes again behind the bed. It's like, oh, I know what's coming.
Yeah, we all did.
Well, I noticed
it's like
this.
You just want to tell Dalton, keep your mouth closed.
He kind of I noticed this a lot with the shots, and I noticed this in the first Insidious too, where there'll be a character kind of set up, but I'd be like a little bit closer to camera, and there'd be like a window right here or something. I would move in the way of it, and move out, and then something be there, and then a simple little jump scare like that. It was done kind of well in a few moments here, I thought. Like when he was doing the memory game, I thought that was well. I was like, okay, that I know it's coming, but
I did like
very
that,
well.
Yeah.
I didn't expect it to be there. I thought it to be like one right behind him, like from that angle. Didn't expect it to be right outside the door or right outside the window. That was okay, cool. I mean, it didn't get me. I was like, all right, that's not where I was expecting the scare to be.
I'm
early
glad you brought
on,
the memory game because that was one of the few moments where I was like, solid. This is original. Good job.
Yeah. And early on when he's on the phone and like how he did the lean over, but you see something just out of focus in the background. That like when they showed that early on, I was like, okay, so we have to pay attention to the foreground in this. Which is what I was doing most of the movie, just paying attention to the background and everything, especially if they were framing it just right.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I know it's coming now. Look at how this is framed.
Yeah, taking a page from the John Carpenter book of don't be afraid to play around with your backgrounds.
Yeah. I mean, and good on you for and good on him for taking that page out of his playbook. Good on him. I did appreciate that factor about it. I was like, okay. But that's also what I liked about the first one too.
Yeah, and I will say the first one's like is paced so much better. First of all, I want to say the first one's like at least 10 or 20 minutes shorter. It's not a very long movie, and it goes at a fairly fast pace, and like it's not like the first one's not great art, but it's entertaining. And this one, like, it has entertaining elements, but like overall, no, I'm not a fan of this one.
Okay.
And like I said, I think there's elements I like. Like I like the father son bonding element. Like, well, the son's putting pictures all over the wall, and at the end he puts a picture of his father up, and it's like, oh, that's nice. I wish it was in a better movie. But yeah.
Did you notice the abrupt change to Dalton though at the end? How he's wearing happier clothes, and his hair was a little more kempt. Did you notice?
I definitely noticed the hair being more kempt. I didn't really notice the clothes. Yeah,
he was in like a bright buttoned-up shirt with some like blue jean cut off. And I'm just like, oh, look, he's happier now.
Yay! You can tell by his fashion sense.
Yeah, it's little subtle things.
So yeah, I guess my overall final thoughts on this are, I don't recommend it, but I think Patrick Wilson shows promise as a director. I think the acting here is solid, and I think we have a good story for the 45-minute runtime, not for what they have. What are your final thoughts, Bobby?
Yeah, Patrick Wilson definitely shows some promise as a director. I'd like to see him do like a crime story sort of movie. That would be good. I'd also like to see him act in one too.
No, he's a good actor. I like him.
He is. Yeah, I enjoyed his performance in this. I thought the actress who played his wife in this had a very minimal part. Like she was barely in it.
But yeah, no, I was expecting her to have a more prominent role. But spoilers for something we find out like in the first 5 minutes. They're divorced at this point.
Which
but,
I thought
he
I
still
missed
is
from
trying
a
to be
previous
involved
movie.
in his kid's life. Yeah.
I thought I had missed that from the previous movie. Okay.
They what happened in the previous movie was they had the hypnosis. They had the hypnosis to forget what happened over the past year, and that's
okay. So
pretty much
what the movie
last
opened?
time we saw them.
What the movie opened up with. Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty much last we saw them, if I remember. I don't think we saw them getting divorced. That's something new dropped in here. But even divorced, he wants to be a good father and be there with his kids, and that's what he's working towards. But yeah, not great. Not a great conclusion. If you want to see the conclusion to the Lambert family, just watch the first two. I think, as I recall, that one wraps it up nicely anyway. So like them not being there for the third one didn't feel like a huge twist. So yeah, I guess that's it for this week. Next week, I know we got Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning, and
we also have Insomnia.
We got Strange New World. That's right, Insomnia. I need to track down, see where that is playing. Yes, we're going to be watching Insomnia to get ready for Oppenheimer.
Hey, point of order.
Which
for July 24th.
Yes.
I see we have The Secret of the Ooze on here.
Yes.
Why don't we swap that out for the 91? And then the next week, as opposed to Turtles in Time, we do the TMNT, the Michael Bay, or the animated one before the Michael Bay one.
Well, we already talked about the 91.
We did?
Yeah. Like, I'm okay doing TMNT, because TMNT, I think, is totally underrated and should get discussed more.
Like the animated one, not the Michael Bay one. Not the Michael Bay one.
Yeah, the like 2007, I want to say. Yeah,
that one.
No, that one. Yeah.
Because I think I mean, just an idea.
I would be
we
fine
could do that.
Taking out Turtles 3 for TMNT.
No, I want to watch cheesy acting 3.
Yeah, but
the British guy in that, he is just rough.
Which one are you talking about?
And then 3, the villain.
Oh. That movie is rough in general. What are you talking about? Just the whole thing's rough.
I mean, first with the way the turtles look.
Yeah, yeah.
Big eyes weird me out.
But hey, they brought back Corey Feldman, so it's all better now.
Is it?
Okay, maybe not. Maybe not.
I mean, I have nothing against Corey Feldman, but I mean, is it really?
No. I'll be blunt. Like, his band is awful, but like almost. It's
oh my god, his music
bad
is
that I
so
can't get
bad.
Mad at it.
His music is so bad.
It's like you can't. It's so bad, but you can't get mad at it. It's that level of bad. It's like, oh god.
Like, I can't even laugh at it, but it is just so terrible.
There's something about, like, there's a genuineness to it too that is just
yeah. He's sincere about it.
Like, okay, this is what we're doing.
I mean, at least Kevin Bacon and his brother, their stuff's not bad. Like, have you ever listened to the Bacon Brothers?
That's
what
don't
they
think
call
so.
themselves.
No,
they call themselves.
Yeah, no,
the Bacon
I knew about the Bacon Brothers. Yeah, but
just the greatest band name ever.
Yeah, of course.
Like, I saw their CD at a Half Price Books once, and I picked it up just curious because it said Bacon Brothers. Turned it around and I saw a picture of Kevin and his brother. And I'm like, no fucking way.
Nah.
Yeah, I'm buying this. I don't care. I'm buying this.
Nah. Nice.
But all right. Well, I mean, we could talk later about that.
Yeah, we can discuss it out. Like, if we want to.
I had completely forgot that we had covered. I had completely forgotten that we'd covered.
It was in the early days.
Probably
it was in the early days.
Okay. Yeah. So. Yeah. Well, we could
revisit. We can figure it out.
We could still do 2 and 3 and then lead it into Mutant Mayhem. Just go close up.
Well, do you want to do 2 and then TMNT?
Well, how about we close out the original trilogy?
Okay.
And we could even skip the turtles coming out of their shells. Unless you can find a copy of that.
I kind of want to now that you brought up, but I know, like, once I do that,
did you forget it existed? Did you forget it existed?
Well, did I forget it existed? I mean, kind of. It's not like something frequently on my memory, but
it is for me.
We can always do the next mutation.
Oh, that series! Oh man,
so
I forgot that existed, and I had found that it was on Netflix. And I was like, oh, wow, I didn't know this existed. Play. Oh.
Then you watch it, it's like, oh, this is why.
Oh, this is why I didn't know this existed. Yes. Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, we can close out the original trilogy.
Yeah. So next week, we're still doing Mission Impossible, Dead Reckoning Part 1, Insomnia, and then we'll close out Strange New World Season 1.
Yeah.
Which will get us ready to start covering Season 2 in a couple weeks, which, yay. I'm excited to dive into Strange New World Season 2.
Yeah.
But yes, so that'll be next week. I can't really do anything fun because StreamYard's different, and it's different. So,
yeah.
Let's see, do we have any clips I could close out on? I don't think I have anything queued up. But, yeah, everyone have a good one. I guess we can still do a free stream, so have a good one.